Hi everyone, I'm April and you're watching the Tangled Cat Speaks, and this is episode number 25. So I'm here again in my sunroom. The lighting is a little bit odd today because we've got a few passing clouds and it kind of comes in and out, so I'm sorry if that messes up with the lighting in here. But I'm going to start off by showing you the little bit of progress that I've made on my exploration station. I really didn't, I fell down a rabbit hole this week and I didn't really get a whole lot of knitting done on my whips. So I'm not going to even bother showing you the block party socks that I had last week because I didn't work on those at all. So obviously I'm not going to get those done for June, but I will get them done soon. So here's the exploration station, and the last time I showed you I had just finished the brioche. So here I am now using two other colors to do a slip stitch pattern that is so lovely. Very, very pleased with it. And because it's on a bigger needle, this is fingering weight on a size 6. Even though it's a slip stitch pattern, it doesn't pull in really a whole lot. So it's just gonna look real nice and airy, and I love how it's got it's these two yarns here, the blue and the cream, but I love how it kind of blends them and morphs them into almost a whole other color because the slip stitches kind of pull them into one another. So I'm really enjoying the slip stitch pattern. I've got, I think, one more row left to do, and then I'll do the separating row with the dark blue. And then I'll have one more section left before I do the border. So I'm working slowly but surely on that. And it didn't help that I had forgotten my yarn. Oh my gosh, what a mortal sin. I forgot my yarn. But I had gone to work a couple of days without that project. So during my downtime, I was working on another pair of socks that I have stashed in my car for emergency knitting purposes. I believe I had shown you that. It's still in my car, so I didn't go out and get it for today. But it's I showed you a couple of episodes ago some yarn that was dyed by Rebecca from Chemnitz Creations. It was like a rainbow speckly kind of yarn that she had done with food coloring. And I was doing the Walk the Line socks. So I've been working slowly here and there on those. Those are not even a big priority, like I said. They're just sitting in my car for emergency knitting. So that's what I was doing this past week, was kind of working on those, because I just kept forgetting to grab my bag with this shawl in it. And so it's been kind of a slow knitting week. And also it was slow because, like I said, I went kind of down a rabbit hole. I was knitting and watching movies and just kind of, I had a lot of my time to myself as far as being at home. My son went on a trip with his football team. They were doing, they're doing summer practices, and they went down to Las Cruces, and we're doing some, what they call 7-on-7. So it's like a small group of kids playing these sort of round robin football games as practice during the summer. So they went down to Las Cruces to play some of the teams down at the southern part of New Mexico for that. So I was by myself for several days, and I don't know what happened. I was looking through my Ravelry at one point. I had stopped knitting and I was looking through Ravelry and messages, and I don't know, somehow I got onto my own stash page, and I remembered that I needed to take photographs of some Hugh Loco yarns that I had gotten a while back as part of her Misfits sales. And I remembered, oh, I should go photograph those. You know, it's funny the things that come to your mind when you're doing some relaxing knitting. And I remembered I had these yarns that I needed to photograph so that I can upload to my Ravelry stash. And so I got up, went into the closet, and I found the yarns and I started to photograph them. And then I'm like, what can I do with these? I don't have any clue, because I had one skein of each, and they were all Misfits, so they're not really labeled. They just say Misfit on them. I'm assuming that she was trying to make some of her normal colorways, and for whatever reason these just didn't make the cut, and so she sold them at a discounted price as Misfits. So I started caking them up, and I started trying to think of what I could do with them, and I ended up getting 3 of them. I have like 8 skeins. This is the spun sock that Hiloko has. It's her MCN base. It's 80% merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. So her spun sock, and this was one of the misfits, and I don't know which color this was meant to be. I don't know which color any of these were meant to be, but this is one. It's like a pale lavender with lots of greens and looks like oranges and golds. Very, very pretty. So I caked that up. The next thing that I caked up was, because, I had ideas just in my head of what I wanted to do, and I needed to kind of play with it. So this was another one that I got, which is also some pinks. And it's got these dark bits here are a really deep chocolate brown. And then these lovely, lovely teals. It's just so pretty. There is a little bit of that same orangey gold in here. So I thought they would work nice together. There's a little tiny bit of green, but not a whole lot. But they're very different. And then I also did, this one was not a misfit, but it's also on the same spun sock base. This one was her amber canopy. So I caked that up because it's got that same bright pop of pink that this one has. And then it's got the greens, which I've got greens in this. So I thought I was going to try to figure out how to use all 3 of these together. I don't know what, but I started swatching in sort of a random pattern. Sometimes I would knit a row, sometimes I would knit in pearls, sometimes I would knit some more, or do reverse sock knit. I was just playing around with the stitches just to see how they would, and it just so happens that in my gauge swatch I was doing sort of a fade, even though I don't think that what I'm planning on designing with this is going to be exactly a fade. But I wanted to see how well the colors blended together, how they looked next to one another. So this is what I've got so far. It's just an idea. I don't really know where I'm going with this. This bottom color was another one of the misfits, which is this one, which is a really pretty mauvey color, and it's got some rusty browns in here. I don't think my lighting, another cloud seems to have passed over, so it's kind of dark in here. Let's see, but there's some darker rusty browns in there. Really pretty. So I thought I'm going to use this as maybe a border or something. I'm not sure. It's still an idea for me in my head, but that's what I did. I was going through all of the 8 or 9 skeins of this spun sock that I have in all of these misfits. Most of them are misfits, except for the amber canopy, and I think I've got a saltwater, and I've got a master of disaster. I was just going through the different ones that I had and seeing which ones I might like together, which ones I might like as something else, some things I might want as an individual. I know that there's the saltwater. I just think I really want to make a pair of socks just by itself, just the saltwater, no contrasting heels or toes or anything. And I don't have that one. That's in my closet. But I was playing with the colors, and these are the 4 that I thought I'm going to try to do something with. I really don't know what I'm going to do. But I'm going through my Barbara G. Walker dictionaries, her knitting treasuries. I've got books 1 and 2. So I was going through those to see what I might come up with. So I'm just kind of playing around with that. It's nothing really concrete quite yet. But that's what happened, is I was playing with colors. I was winding up these skeins. I was writing things down, writing ideas, and I just went down a rabbit hole, and I didn't get hardly any knitting done. Really, that's all I worked on was my expiration station and a little bit on those walk the line socks when I didn't have anything else to work on. So I really don't have anything else to show you as far as whips, and I don't have any finished objects. I didn't really go back into my older finished objects to show you anything about that today, but maybe next time I'll come up with that, because one of the other things that I wanted to show you was stuff that I got in the mail. I became a crazy person when I realized that Niptix was having their summer sale. I totally became a crazy person, and I ordered so much stuff. But I do have plans for most of it. Sort of plans. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the one that I don't have plans for. Specific plans. I'm pretty sure this is going to end up being a shawl. But I got the Knit Picks Chroma Twist, which is a fingering weight, and I'm sorry, this, for whatever reason, this package came where it was just sloppily put together. Like the skeins were, these two were in a plastic bag that was open and had plenty of room for the other one, but for whatever reason, this was just kind of thrown in the box. So I don't know, it was just, and I have a bunch of yarns, and they were all just kind of haphazardly thrown together. Some of the bags seem to be torn open, so everything just doesn't look pretty. I don't know what was going on there, but whatever. The yarns seem to be okay. They're just not prettily twisted up like they should be. But anyway, this is the Chroma Twist fingering, and this is the colorway Manzanita. I got 3 of them because I thought it would look really pretty as a shawl. And since these are kind of sort of self-striping long color runs, I thought it would just be cool to see how it turned out in a triangular shawl. Just to probably just, I was thinking maybe the Age of Brass and Steam. I've done one of those before, but I think I could see it looking really pretty in a long color run self-striping type of yarn. So there's that. That was the first thing I went crazy on. The second thing I went crazy on was I'm on a Joji Locatelli. I have a bunch of patterns of hers that I haven't tried knitting quite yet because I never knew what yarns I wanted. So what I got was the Stroll fingering, and this is the Eucalyptus Tonal, and it's a very pale green. You can see I'm on a green kick again. That's my favorite color, and I haven't really bought a whole lot of green in the past recent years, but last week I did some dyeing with green, and now I'm buying green, so I'm gonna have to be careful. But this is a really pale, cool kind of green. So I bought 4 of these because what I want to make is the, what is it, like a cloud or something like that? It's the Joji Locatelli cardigan. So that's what I want to make with it. And I just love this pale green, and I feel like it's pale enough to be used as kind of a neutral. I can pretty much wear just about anything with this because it's so light and pale, and I think I can get away with it as an overall general cardigan. So I'm going to try that soon. Hashtag soon. And you can see it's similar in tone to this. I mean, this one has a lot of the browns and golds and a little bit of blues in there. But I mean, the greens are quite similar. I don't know what I'm doing with all of these light greens lately. And then the other thing that I got, and when, in my defense, when I ordered these 2, I thought that they were slightly darker than what they ended up being. These are the Cucumber. This is also Stroll fingering. And this is the Cucumber Tonal. Where's the tag? No, there it is. So I thought this was actually going to be just a slightly darker green than the Eucalyptus. They're very, very similar. Let me put this one down. They're very, very similar, but you can see this one is a cooler tone. This one is slightly warmer. And I mean, from a distance, you wouldn't know that they were 2 different colors. They look very similar. Up close and probably in better lighting, you would be able to tell that they're a hair different. Just a little. But on on my monitor, this one looked a little bit darker. So when I got it, I'm like, oh, okay. But what I was planning on doing with these, and it's fine, I don't mind that. And it's green. I love it no matter what. So what I planned on doing with these two skeins was making the bark lines shawl, also by Joji Locatelli. So I'm so excited for that. And I know that I was also doing, I have yarn set aside for ley lines, and I can't think of which yarn I have set aside. But I also plan on doing her ley lines shawl. That one I've had for a really long time, and I just haven't really got around to it yet. Because I keep getting distracted. I keep wanting to do things, and I get distracted with knit-alongs, and like this past week I just got into the designing mode and just random stuff. So I do watch Joji Locatelli's podcast here on YouTube, and she's been showing little sneak peeks of a design in the works for a boxy cardigan that she's using a fingering weight in one color and a mohair. I think she said it was a mohair silk in the same colorway by the same company. And it's just starting to work up so pretty. And obviously I don't know anything about numbers, sizing, yardage, requirements, any of that, because she's still in the process of designing this pattern. But just what she's shown as, kind of a work in progress kind of thing on her podcast, I'm down. I'm already down for this pattern. I'm so excited. I won't do it in the pretty yellow that she's using because, like I said, for me, yellow is accent color, not an overall color for myself. But what I did, knowing that I'm a bigger size, I'm usually in the 2X, 3X kind of size. I've got, I think I measured it at a 52 inch bust. So I'm going to use a lot of yardage no matter what. So without knowing anything about her pattern other than what it might turn out to look like, I went ahead and ordered a whole bunch of yarn thinking, well, at least 2,000 yards of both the fingering weight and the mohair should get me through. I'm probably going to have a whole lot left over, but I just made a guesstimate based on other patterns and in the same type of yarn and on my size. So I went and I got also fingering, stroll fingering, and this is the Deep Waters colorway. And I think I may have showed this yarn before. I had a skein of it, I think in the lace tonal, and I made a shawlette called Arabesque. I've shown that before, but I love the multi-color, just very subtle blues, teals, and purples. I mean, look at that dark navy in there. So I got 5 skeins of that. I mean, that should be plenty, especially because there's another yarn held along or used along in this pattern. So I think I'm gonna have a whole lot left over. Definitely will have enough to make a size for myself. So there's the one yarn, and then she uses, and I'm using a tonal. She's using a solid in her sample that she's knitting up. But I got some mohair. I think it's just, is it just mohair? I got the Aloft from Knit Picks, and this is the Celestial. God, my hand is very shaky today. This is a Celestial colorway, and I think it is, nope, this is also mohair and silk. 72% Super Kid mohair and 28% silk. Now, because these are smaller in yardage, I had to buy quite a bit more. I bought 8 skeins of this. This is what I'm talking about. This one was kind of just thrown in the box, and then this one came. I didn't do this. This came like this in my Knit Picks package, and it's got all these random little weird holes. I don't know if those are supposed to be there to air out the yarn. I don't know, but I don't know. But this definitely, I don't think should have been there. I don't know what happened. My box was just kind of all crazy. So I got 8 skeins of that, and I think that those are going to look, even though this is a tonal, it's going to be very, very subtle, and I think this is going to look so pretty with it. I'm gonna have a beautiful blue cardigan. I'm so happy. I can't even describe how excited I am. I've never used, actually no, I think I did use a mohair once. And it was all right. I think I made a cowl with it, and I just never really, it was just the mohair, and I didn't really care for it. But using it in conjunction with another yarn is really, really pretty. So I hope that it works out, and I hope that I don't have to do a whole lot of frogging, because I do know that frogging this stuff is not a good time. It is not a party when you have to frog mohair. So, I think that it's going to be fine. I'm very excited. I feel so silly for having bought all this yarn on something that isn't even ready yet. You know, I haven't even, the pattern isn't out yet. It's not even completely written, test knit or tech edited, any of that. It's still in the development stages. But I was like, I'm down, Hoagie Locatelli. I'm getting that. Sign me up. So I've got all my yarn ready to go for that. That's what I ended up going crazy with the Summer Knit Picks sale. Yeah, so all of that came. I was so stoked opening up all my packages. I was a little bummed, like I said, with how the package itself was put together, but the yarns themselves are wonderful. So what else do I have? Oh, I didn't bring it in here. I did, but it's way over there. I'm gonna get it actually. Hold on one second. So I have been talking about, well, I talked last week about how I hadn't been feeling well because I'm trying to pass a kidney stone. The initial part of it was very painful. From what I understand, that's basically the stone traveling from your kidney towards your bladder. I don't believe that I've actually passed the kidney, because I hear that that is horrible, and I haven't gone through any other kind of pain since that initial time. But my doctor said that I need to up my water intake, and as a matter of fact, my app just I put in a water app to tell me how much track how much I've had to drink that day, as well as to remind me, and I just saw it pop up as yelling at me to drink water. So I got the app to remind me to get, because it's not so much that I don't like water, it's just I don't think about it because I get caught up in so much that I forget to drink. So I got my app, it's yelling at me now to drink, and I decided that, and because my doctor did say to pass this stone more easily, is to just drink. So I went and I got myself, because like I said, I don't mind drinking plain water, but it's nice to mix it up just a little bit, and I don't want to get the commercial powder drink mixes and all of that in there, because that may even be, trying to get myself healthy, because I never, ever want to go through this kind of pain again. So I'm going to become a water drinking fool. So I got one of these infuser bottles, and I got this off of Amazon. It's Live Infinitely is what's written here. I don't know if that's the company, and I've already gotten rid of the package that it came in. But it's really cool. It's got the tube down in the center that you put your fruit or whatever you want in there. I've got frozen fruit in here. I had a freezer full of stuff for smoothies, so I've got right now I had thrown some frozen peach slices and some blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries. And I stuck it in the fridge, and it works out so good. So this is a 32-ounce bottle. And because it doesn't taste like just nothing, I drink it a lot faster than I drink the plain water. So I'm super excited. I got that. I'm going to be on my water drinking kick, and there you go. This is really cool too, because it's got this little flip thing here to keep it locked, and you just kind of push the button and it flips open. And it's got these little rubber grippies. It's got like a rubber grip on this side, and then this side is like textured, because sometimes your water bottle or your glass or whatever can get the condensation if it's too hot outside or whatever. So that really helps to keep a hold of it so you don't pick it up and then drop it and shatter the whole thing, and then you're crying and your day is ruined. So water, water, water. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to try. I think they even emailed me like a little PDF kind of thing with different recipes and things that I can mix in here to try with not just fruits, but I think like herbs and maybe some vegetables and stuff. So I'm very excited. I'm happy, happy, happy to have this. And I'm thinking I probably should have got a second one so that I can always have one infusing while I'm drinking the other one. So I may end up doing that. We'll see. But I'm very happy with this water bottle. And let's see. Books. That's the next thing. Sarah Rain. I noticed I say a lot. That's very unprofessional. You would think, being a dispatcher for 20 some years, that saying would be something that I don't do, because that's how we're trained. I don't say it on the radio. See, there I did it again. But here I noticed that I say a lot while I'm recording. It's very annoying. I annoy myself by doing it, so I'm sorry. So the next thing that I've got, this is the Sarah Rain book that I am like 20 pages away from finishing. The Sin Eater. Very, very good. Very, very interesting and very suspenseful. I think I mentioned last time that this one was quite dark because it was a little more towards like being about possession. And it started off really dark and quite gruesome, but it's not. It didn't continue down the thread, or it didn't get darker. It's really, really, it's really good. I'm finding it very, very interesting. So I did go to the library and get the third in the series. So I'll be starting this very shortly. This is also Sarah Rain. This one's called The Silence. Look at that picture. It just looks so spooky. Like the silhouette with the hands on the window. Oh, I am so happy that I decided to go into these ghost haunting scary novels, because I haven't read stuff like that in ages, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I still am doing the Delicious Death group in Ravelry that we're doing Agatha Christie every month. I didn't participate this month, now June, because of all of the moving and everything, and I just wasn't capable of reading 2 novels at the same time, and I really wanted to get into these. So I didn't read the Agatha Christie selection this month, which was Harley Quinn. It was a bunch of short stories that Agatha Christie wrote with the main protagonist, Harley Quinn. I've read them before, but I don't remember them. So it would have been nice to have gotten into those stories. And they were short stories, so I probably could have squeezed them in here and there. But I was just so all over the place this month that I just didn't get in my Agatha Christie reading. So I didn't do that. What was it for now in July? Now that we're coming into July, trying to think what the book is. Dead Man's Folly. Dead Man's Folly is what we're going to be reading now in July. And I'm definitely going to get that one. I miss my Agatha Christie. I miss her voice. Like, to me, she's like a voice, not just a book. She's a voice. I miss hearing in my head her way of writing. So definitely going to get back to reading my Agatha Christie novels, and it'll be Dead Man's Folly. I'm sure that I read that one a couple, maybe 4 years ago. And I know I've seen a lot of the TV adaptations of this, which are very, very different from the novel, of course, because for whatever reason, filmmakers don't seem to enjoy following the stories as closely as we'd like. So they're very different. It's not bad, just different. And I think that's also contributes to why I don't always know who did it, even though I've read it before, because I've seen TV adaptations that are very different. So I'm kind of a little bit lost. But I'm excited. I'm going to get Dead Man's Folly from the library in a couple of days. And they've already planned in the Delicious Death group, the girl who's moderating, I'm sorry I say girl, but the woman who's moderating that month's read-along, knit-along, has listed a bunch of different projects, and one of the themes that seems to be in the book is magnolias. So what I did was I chose a pattern that's called Pink Magnolia, and it's just a crochet pattern of a flower. I'm going to say it's going to end up being about that big, maybe a little bit bigger, but it's crochet, and I thought it would be quick. I can get it done and maybe even get a couple of them done, so that I don't get too overwhelmed with everything that I'm still trying to finish that I've gotten behind on, and then starting another knit along kind of project for the Delicious Death group. But sometimes I feel bad because I can't always participate in the knit along portion of it. And even though for 99% of the time I do participate in the reading part of it, except for June. I kind of fell off the wagon there in June. But I'm back on track, so I am going to do the Magnolia, the Pink Magnolia. And I'm going to do it in these two colors. I think this will probably be the main, and I don't know what these are. I think this might be Loops and Threads Impeccable. And this one, just from the feel of it, feels like I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby. I don't know the names of the colorways, but it's a maroon and a bright pink. I'm thinking this is going to be the main color of the flower, and this is going to be sort of like an accent. I haven't really looked too closely at the pattern yet, so I don't know exactly what I'm going to be doing, but these are the colors that I chose in worsted weight acrylic. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'll show you a couple of cute little flowers next time. We'll see. That's really all I've got right now. It's been sort of a frazzled week just because I'm getting over being sick and I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. And then I went down this designing rabbit hole where I just thought, oh, what am I going to do with this? And I don't know. It may not come to anything at all. I don't know. But so far, I'm thinking this is going to be something really pretty. So, yeah. And I will stop saying I hope. No, I will see you all next week. I hope that this week is fun and productive and joyous, and I am going to get ready to now go pick up my mom so that we can go see Jurassic Park World. Very excited to see Chris Pratt again. And the dinosaurs too. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of your week, and thank you for visiting with me, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.